I said, yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Amber. This is Amber's Logic. Got a new video for you today. Milwaukee Bucks trades, rumors, and news. Live edition. Before we get into it, you know the spiel. Comment, like, subscribe, and share this electrifying content with the people. I hope I said Green Bay Packers trades, rumors, and news. I've been doing Bucks for so long. I auto-do it. So hopefully I said that right, y'all. Appreciate everybody tapping in. Y'all see I'm smiling. Y'all know there's so many people no longer on this roster for the Green Bay Packers. I am elated, friends and family. Rashan but you know what? Let me not get into that. Hold on, I got some of my glass. Hold on 1 second, y'all. That look crazy. All right, there we go. Before we get into the roster changes, let's get into this first. Salute to Malik Willis. He did a great service for the Packers as a backup quarterback, played extremely well. It was unfortunate we lost him as a backup quarterback, but he was clearly starter material. He showed great growth in his time here with the Green Bay Packers. We definitely are an organization that knows how to develop quarterbacks. That's one thing the Green Bay Packers can do, is develop you a quarterback. They definitely can get busy with these quarterbacks. So salute to Malik Willis getting his money down there in Miami, replacing Tua. Salute to him. We wish you the best over there in the AFC. Get busy over there, bro. Rumble, young man, rumble. We really hope the best, and we appreciate everything you did while you were in a Green Bay Packer uniform. And salute to Packer Nation. Salute to friends and family. What's good? I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. Yo, Rashan Gary is not just gone. We were able to trade him to what Jeff likes to call the Cowgirls for a 4th round 2027. Woo! Nate Hobbs, get out of Lambeau. Woo! Quay Walker, Captain Low IQ, get out of here. I'm glad we cleaning house. We trimming the fat, and it's been about time. Get rid of these scrubs. Next person I want to see on the Summer Jam screen is Keisean Nixon. I would love for him to be gone. Get all them cornerbacks out of here. We need a new, fresh corporate cornerbacks. I know we did sign a couple, one quarterback at least. I'm just a little charged here, y'all. I know we got Zaire Franklin. I know all of that. But you guys don't understand how much Rashan Gary was a thorn in my side. He made me upset for years. The lack of production, the lack of effort, the overhype, the overpayment. And for us to flip him for a 4th round pick is outstanding. I don't know what the Packers got going on with the Cowboys, but I like it. I like it. Shout out. Hey, shout out to the Cowboys. Y'all showing us love. We appreciate it. Shout out. Man, and Quay Walker gone. That's what I was telling y'all. Y'all trying to tell me Quay Walker's speed and all. I'm like, this dude's a dummy. He can't handle being no linebacker where you got to think. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Rashan Gary, get him out of here. I want to know how y'all feel about Jenkins. Bleacher, I'm going to tap you in here in a minute. I want to know how y'all feel about Jenkins being let go. And let me see who else. I got my notes here, but I was just so excited about Quay Walker being gone. Oh, and then Kingsley Enagberry, he's gone. And then Elton Jenkins, I want to get into that, but I'm just so happy about Rashan Gary being gone. And Zaire Franklin is a very good linebacker. He also was a Pro Bowl, I think, in 2024, so only 2 years ago now. And then we got the cornerback Benjamin St-Juste for a 2-year, $10 million, so low risk, high reward. And then we got Sky Moore from the Chiefs as a kick returner. So we doing what we need to. We've saved a ton of money. I'm really happy with what the Green Bay Packers are doing. It was about time we got rid of some of these scrubs. We need to rebuild the offensive line, though. Our offensive line looked crazy last year. Pass protection and run blocking. I know running backs after a certain age look but I know that Josh Jacobs ain't weak like that. But I do believe our offensive line is weak like that. That I do believe. Y'all got to let me know in the comment section how you feel. Let me tap in Bleacher here. Hold on. Bleacher, you good? Yeah, let's get this cracked. Let me tap in Bleacher. Hold on 1 second. What up, Bleacher?
Hey, you can't make fun of my hat this time.
Why, Bleacher? Right away. Shout out to Bleacher. Yeah, the hat clean. He clean. Let's see the builder real quick before we get into it. BKC, I see you. Greg Delaney, I see you. Derek Stevenson, Jeff Riley was good. Tim Beck was good. Appreciate you. The boy, Mr. 414 in the building. What's good, bro? Appreciate you. What up, ALOL? We about to talk this Packers business today. Daniel Joseph, what it do? Salute. Janet MOC in the building. What up? Queens of the chat, always in here strong. Kenny Mack, been a minute. Good to see you, bro. Salute. Appreciate you tapping in. What is this one? Pure X for 5. What's good? Appreciate you tapping in. All right, Bleacher. Hey, my boy is gone, bro. Oh, Quay is gone. Yeah. Rashan Gary. People I don't want it gone for years. I don't wanted these people gone for years. Finally. People worried about the roster, building a contender. You got to get rid of the dead weight before you do anything.
Exactly. And then like the report that he got hacked, or he like last week he said, I got hacked. Like, why? Stop lying. You thought you was gone.
Right.
Like, just delete the tweet and then don't say nothing. That's all you have to do.
Right. That's it, but doing too much.
But what the Dallas Cowboys getting our scraps?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Let them keep coming. They gave us Micah. They took Kenny Clark off our hands. Now they taking his running mate Rashan Gary off our hands. Salute to them. America's team is doing a service. They doing a service, a good service. Thank you. A 4th-round pick is more than I expected for Rashan Gary. I'm gonna be real. That's way more than I expected. I thought we were just gonna flat out release him, but to pull out a trade,
excellent,
bro. Move. That's crazy.
I want to know what was the Raiders doing, giving Walker all that money, like.
Let him have. Hey, the Raiders gonna be the Raiders, bro. Let the Raiders Raider. Hey, what up, Trina?
Man, that's just, no. Hey, get this, Amber. Somebody was actually arguing with me saying that Quay Walker was better than Zaire Franklin, and I'm like, yeah, I was like, bro,
what are you watching?
Yeah, what are you watching? Then they was bringing the numbers last year. He was only 87 or 80 linebacker ratings. I'm like, he's playing in another system.
Right.
And he was hurt. He had a foot injury. I found this out today.
Right.
That Zaire had a foot surgery before the season. He didn't play well. So that tells you right there, like, his best year. That was one of his worst seasons, and he was hurt.
Right.
This year's the Packers a new system that he's used to, 3-4
Right.
defense. And man, I am excited. Javon Hargrove's pickup.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Oh, I
excited.
forgot getting rid of Nate Hobbs too. Shout out to Jeff Riley. Nate Hobbs was a terrible signing. And to be honest, he's still getting love because he's getting $6.5 million still. I think he still gets $6.5 million. But we saved $9 million. Well,
he better take that $6 million and do something with it.
Yeah, because he look crazy. He looks crazy out there.
I can just tell right now. It's something. I'm gonna still tell you something that Jeff would probably tell you if he knew this information. Now, when everybody got signed back, when Gutekunst and Matt Ford got, it was rumblings that the Packers was looking like getting rid of him because Ed Policy don't want to play these games because he wants to win.
Right.
And I heard that not Goody, but Matt LaFleur's a little nervous. He thought he was gonna be gone before they signed him back. They signed him back because they wanted to get they thought about John Harbaugh, but then they was like, "Man, ain't gonna get him. He's going to New York." Once they go to New York, they're like, "Okay, we'll just sign you back, but we're gonna have to change this defense. They gotta get changed." Once Jeff Howie left, and then the big thing that happened that nobody's talking about that we ain't talking about is our special teams coach is gone.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. Good call. Yep.
Gone. He was gonna get fired. He should have been fired. But they said that the reason why he left is because he felt that nobody wanted, he had no input anymore.
Okay.
They really wasn't talking about anything because he was an assistant coach. So once he started talking to him about all that stuff, they're like, "Oh well, the sign is he just left. He went to Cleveland." But this is the emphasis that this is the difference night and day with the Packers and the Bucks because it's about construction and how this team is run. This team is run great.
Hold on 1 second, Bleacher. In the chat, we traded Rashan Gary to the Dallas Cowboys for a 4th round 2027 pick. Everybody asking to trade. We released Nate Hobbs, and Quay Walker left as a free agent, and Kingsley Enagbare left. Elton Jenkins left. Oh, we forgot too. Romeo Doubs. Congratulations to Romeo Doubs. Yeah, congratulations to Romeo Doubs. You gave us some good years. You had a little bit of issues here and there, but you were definitely one of our top 3 receivers. Appreciate everything you did for us, and go get your money with the Patriots. Again, you in the AFC. We not worried about it. Go do what you do. And I think we're gonna really have addition by subtraction on this team because even though Romeo Doubs was our better receiver, I just don't feel he was a fit for this team. I never felt Romeo Doubs was a fit for this team. He gave us quality yardage. He was a quality receiver. I just felt he was never a good fit for this team. Yeah, I really don't think so. And I also like this too because it's gonna force us to give Zero more playing time. And more, more big time playing time. And I think it's time for Zero this year. This is going to be his breakout year. I really think so. And I don't know, did we get rid of Wicks yet? Is Wicks gone or are we still?
Right now, as of now, he's still on the team. But they're still looking. People wanted to call for Reed and Wicks, but I want to keep Reed. I don't want to get rid of him.
Yeah.
But it's looking up right now because we're getting a lot of players on defensive line. With Wyatt coming back, and then you got
right. Agreed, Kenny Mac. Hey, Golden got to step up this year. There is no ifs, ands, or buts.
You also got a good returner from that played for Cisco last year, so that was a good signing. This team is trying to put the pieces together to get a good contending team this year, and just like I said, this team. I mean the president pretty much wants this team to start taking it to another level and not just be a 7. Because, he got everything up in front. I mean, yes, the coach, Gannon wasn't a good head coach, but he was one heck of a defense coordinator with the and he had guys in the middle. The one thing that this team sucked last year, and I know Dr. Smith, if you've seen this, you know what I'm going to say next, it could not stop the run.
Right.
Believe me, I saw with my own eyes.
Yeah, we can't stop the run yet. Unless we got what's the saving grace that you and Amtrak's always talk about, the defensive lineman that's always hurt.
Always.
The nose. What's his name? What's our nose tackle, y'all, that's always hurt? Wyatt. Devontae Wyatt. Well, Wyatt plays a little better, but he don't never play. That's the problem.
He broke his ankle. I mean, that was it. But
somebody else mentioned it in the chat too. My bad, I didn't see who it was. About Savion Williams. This will give him more playing time as well. Y'all got to understand, we got a lot of depth at receiver. We might have been holding some people back with Romeo Dobbs and some of these other people to keep it real. And let's not forget, we getting my boy back, Tucker Kraft, and he's gonna come back with a vengeance. And with that being said, my boy Musgrave played way better at the end of the year. He was blocking better. He looked better. I think next year we can run 2 tight ends. I think that Musgrave is going to put in the pain. And get bigger, get stronger. And I really think we're going to see an improve. I think we're going to see tight ends in tandem. With Musgrave and Kraft when they come back. And I think that'll help the run game as well. I really do.
I agree.
What up, Dr. Smith? You good to go? I'm going to tap you in. You good? Let me tap you in. Yeah, let me tap
you. That's what I've been waiting for.
Hold on 1 second. What up, Dr. Smith? What's good, sir?
What's going on? What's going on, family?
I've been smiling for like 72 hours. We done got rid of Rashan Gary for a 4th rounder. Quay Walker is up out of there. As much as Romeo Dobbs is a good receiver, I'm kind of glad he's gone. I don't really think he fit. That's what I was just telling Bleacher. Respectful, I just don't think he meshed with the team well. I think he was a little different.
You got to remember one thing. With all those signings, we get compensatory picks for next year. So the bigger money they get, the more higher the picks we get.
Good point.
There's a lot of compensatory picks. Yeah, so I've been locked in with the ins and outs. But first of all, what's going on, family? What's going on, chat? What's good? I've been missing for a couple of days. I haven't been feeling well. Today's news better. Definitely. Appreciate you. So today's news. So let me ask you this: How do you guys feel about everything? Because I'm just coming to the chat, so I didn't even hear.
I actually feel good. The only thing that I was kind of upset about, but there's nothing we can do about, is the resigning of Matt LaFleur. I really think we should have went in a different direction. But besides that, I'm happy that we're cleaning house. I'm cool that Jenkins is gone. I'm cool Nate Hobbs has been released. I think we're getting rid of a lot of dead weight that now we can go and get quality people to fill those positions. Like, you're losing Quay Walker, but you're getting Zaire Franklin that was coming off a bad year last year from an injury, but the year before that he was a Pro Bowl. So that's an upgrade. That's an upgrade for not a huge investment. You know what I'm saying? The Sky Moore, we got a quality kick returner now. Want somebody that can just specialize in that. I don't want Matthew Golden doing any of that anymore. I'm looking for him to start to become our number 2 for now, and then eventually become our number 1 targeted receiver. That's how I feel that this is going to go. I really feel Golden is going to explode this year.
So you think Matthew Golden will eventually overtake Christian Watson? Yeah, that is okay. Fair enough.
That's why I said 2 for now, and he could get to 1. You know what I'm saying? Right now, Watson, but Watson is his injury history makes me that's the problem I have with Watson. Nothing else.
That's his only problem. His only problem. Yeah,
no, sure. I agree with that. I'm just excited because Rashan Gary was getting too much money. He's gone. Jenkins, I think, was a disappointment after the position change. So that's not really a loss. Our offensive line was disappointing, period, in my opinion. So we need to make changes. Both. Both defensive line and offensive line were shaky last year, in my opinion. They were leaky on the run both ways. We couldn't run the ball on offense, and we couldn't stop the run on defense.
So for me, I didn't mean to cut you
off. No, go ahead, Dr. Smith.
I was going to say, for me, so there's a lot to process, right? Because we haven't talked Packers in a minute, and like the very end of a lot of these picks. What I think is, I'm saying the end, but they still have some space to make some other moves. I think there are other moves to be made. maybe on a smaller scale because I think the big names are gone. So I think if anything would have happened now, if it were going to be big, it would probably have to come trade.
Trade, correct. You know? I agree.
So, wow, a lot to break down, man. Can I cook for a second?
Yeah, go ahead. Kick back. Let me drink my water. Go ahead. Hey, go ahead.
That's what we're here. I've been waiting for this.
Right. So let's start with the Rashan Gary thing, right? And one of the things I want to do going into each of these new seasons with the Bucks and the Packers is I do not want to be like make it personal, right? If I'm upset with a player, right? But if I'm prefacing what I'm about to say with that, should tell you how I felt about Rashan Gary at the very end. Right. Now, this is a man who bled for us. He sweat for us. He was our number one pass rusher for a time. And there was a time when he was good. I just think that time in Green Bay came and went for him. And I don't know why. Because he was playing like he was injured. And there's no injury, at least that we're aware of. It doesn't mean it didn't happen. He could be keeping that to himself. But he was playing like he was injured. And I think, like, if you listen to a lot of these Packer content creators and, you know, a lot of the stuff that they were pointing at was that plays that it's on film, it's on camera now, where you're jogging plays out. Right. You're seeing people like Michael Parsons tear his knee out because he's running full tilt in every direction and running himself into injury. And you're jogging plays out. That's a bad look. You know what I mean? And you got to see on your test. This is the thing that a lot of people were saying. And it just becomes difficult to go forward if that's what's happening. We had a lot of excitement that when we got Michael Parsons, Rashan Gary was who a lot of people were starting to get a little unhappy with, but you're still good enough to be our number 2 pass rusher. If you're moving down to a secondary role in this particular case, and you're having to double team Michael Parsons, and you're having to account for him every single time, then you should have ate well. Right? And you didn't. And it wasn't just you. Like, Devontae Wyatt was starting to take off in the very beginning. In the very beginning of the season. I know how it ended. And it's a complete night and day difference than how we started. Because in the very beginning, I was having arguments with people, is this the best defense in football? Because we weren't giving people any time to make plays. All of that complicated down the field offense, all of that went out the window when you was playing the Packers. The Lions, everything was underneath. Washington, everything was underneath. It wasn't until we played Dallas, that people started lighting us up in the secondary. Because for a minute, it didn't seem like anyone could make a pass that was more than 15 yards. And I was loving it. It had been years since I even saw a team that dominant, and it was multiple people. Now, obviously, the number one person is Michael Parsons, but this was the Michael Parsons effect, and everyone should have been eating.
Right.
LVM was looking good.
Right.
Like, LVM was bench pressing people, and I was like, "Yo, we're gonna win the Super Bowl this year." And it just, once the wheels fell off, it fell off quick. And I do think I agree with Pronte's assessment that I think Michael Parsons made Jeff Hafley a little lazy when it came to some play design, because you were just relying strictly on Michael Parsons' brilliance, because it does allow for you to drop everyone in the coverage, and it just makes things that much more difficult, passes difficult to complete.
Right.
But you can still do some of the more complex stuff that you would do in the previous year when we didn't have Michael Parsons. And we were having games like against Tennessee, for example, where we had like 7 sacks. We had 7 sacks, and we had people like Preston Smith on the field, who at that point was like on his last legs, and we were still recording 7 sacks. Where's the creativity? We could have had it. You know what I mean? To the point that I was making about Rashan Gary, it's just time to move on.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, my brother is a Cowboys fan. He's loving that they got Rashan Gary. Sorry, 1 second.
No. Hey, while you doing that, so I saw somebody in the chat. Hold on 1 second, Mr. 414. We did not mention that is about Jordan Hargrove, the Javon Hargrave. My bad. Yeah, go ahead. I just want to make sure we don't forget about that. Salute to Mr. 414.
I'm working up to that.
Okay, go ahead.
So Rashan Gary leaves, right? Rashan Gary leaves. I'm glad that you made the point about Quay Walker being swapped out for Zaire Franklin, because a lot of people were like, "Who is this guy? Come on, man! Have you seen his tackling and all that?" Here's the thing about Zaire, right? Last year he was coming off of an ankle injury, and he was playing for a brand new defensive coordinator, and they were not playing to his strengths, right? If you put him in a scheme where it's just seek and destroy, see ball, hit ball. When he was doing that and he was healthy, he wasn't just a Pro Bowler. He was all pro. That's the next level up.
Hey, Dr. Smith, can you say something real quick? I had to argue on somebody on Facebook that said to me, well, he was ranked 87 of 89 linebackers. I simply said, look at the film. And look what they did with him. And look it was a new coach. They did not know how to use him.
Expand your search history. Expand your search history. Right
That
now,
was
if
nice.
you
I like that.
had played like that forever, then I could say, all right, well, no, he's not.
You're just a year removed. A year removed.
Yeah, you're just a year removed from being all pro, right? So how was he being utilized when he was an all pro? Like, do your Google search, right? Do your investigations. Like, what was going on from one year to the next that he dropped off that much, right? And then ask yourself how it fits in this system. With Edgerrin Cooper, what we wanted from Quay Walker, especially with all that athleticism, is for you to be more decisive, process quicker, get to the play, right? I've heard people describe him as someone who defends grass because you're just out there. It's like the game recognition is on a 3 or 4 second tape delay. You know what I mean? And with all of that athleticism, he would be the last one to the party. Now, he'd still get there, but he'd be the last. Like, he wasn't terrible. I'm not making that argument, right? But did you know, for example, Quay Walker ran a faster 40 time than Edgerrin Cooper? Yeah. Look at how they play. Who plays faster?
Right.
Is it even close? It's not even close. Quay Walker's actually the faster man, or at least he was at the time that they ran the 40. When Edgerrin Cooper was lighter.
Right.
Like, so when Edgerrin Cooper was small, he's put on weight. When Edgerrin Cooper was smaller and at his fastest, Quay Walker was faster than that. But it never looked like it. You know what Zaire Franklin does? See ball, hit ball, right? I don't need things to be complicated. That is Gannon's homework, right? If I know that this is the strength of this player, and once upon a time he was an all-pro player,
right?
Then how can I make things as simple as possible? And the thing that we're going to ask him to do is exactly what you need next to Edgerrin Cooper. Edgerrin Cooper is your queen piece in the middle of between him and Javon Bullitt, because I want to get to him at some point too.
That's true.
Playing He's almost that star position.
Right, almost like a linebacker safety hybrid position. Nickel.
Yeah, like the box safety.
Yeah, box safety. Okay.
Right, box safety, slot corner. It's interchangeable the way that they use him, right? Because they're very much see ball, hit ball, and Edgerrin Cooper is your queen on the chessboard. So I don't need you to do anything complex. If you trying to be the queen on the chessboard make things difficult, that's fine. I have somebody for that anyway. What I need you to do is, if it's a run play, you are doing exactly what they asked you to do in Indianapolis. See ball, hit ball. And he's like, exactly. That when they asked me to do that, I was one of the best linebackers in football. Right. I love that move. And it's cheaper. So you save money on that. You save money on that, right? To get Michael Parsons, we lost Kenny Clark. There was a gap right there in the middle of our defense because we never, in my opinion, adequately filled it. I think Kobe Wooden did a good job for the time that he was in, but he just wore down over time.
Correct.
Then Devontae Wyatt gets hurt, and it's just a lot on the plate. And I just think that, I don't want to bad talk Kobe Wooden, because I actually think, as far as the glow up, he probably, from where he was to where he ended up, he came the furthest.
Right.
He was our Ryan Rollins.
What number was Kobe Wooden?
96. If Devontae Wyatt was 95, he was 96. Because I remember they were right next to each other. That's how I remember their number.
Yeah, it's just that I cannot forget that Ravens game. I can't forget, because he was getting pushed around badly.
the wheels were already off the thing, right?
Yeah.
And so that point, right, is that became the biggest problem. I think the biggest problem consistently throughout the course of the year was the offensive line. But what became the biggest problem and the biggest black eye was the defense against the run. That was a crime what Baltimore did to us, right?
Correct.
So now made it to the point where they're really thinking about changing the formation with the new defensive coordinator. Are we going to run a 4-3? Are we going to run a 3-4? Whatever the case may be. And the focus has to be on stopping the run, right? And so in that regard, I still think there's work to do, even with the acquisition of Javon Hargrave, because he's not a nose tackle. Right. Neither is Devontae Wyatt. Listen, I heard you guys. Devontae Wyatt is not a nose tackle. He's a 3 technique. You need a nose tackle next to those guys if you're going to run a 3-4. If you're going to run a 4-3, then the defensive line is probably set at this point when Micah comes back, because you're going to have those 2 guys in the interior,
right?
Javon Hargrave and Devontae Wyatt. What I like about Hargrave is he plays very similar to Devontae Wyatt. He's just better. He's a little older.
Consistency.
Right. If you see he's so hard to move off his line because his base is so strong. Like, you go watch.
Oh, you know what? That's why. Not to cut you off, just real quick to interject. That's why the Packers were looking at Calais Campbell. They wanted someone that could just stop the run and just plug the middle to allow our edge rushers to get free and get one-on-one and make things easier on Micah Parsons. This dude is obviously not a Calais Campbell, who I think is a Hall of Famer, but a very good at being stout and stopping the run.
For sure. He's still, I need to make that point though. He's still not a nose tackle, right? So that's the thing. Like, he can play nose, but he's not the guy you want to play nose. If you want to unleash Javon Hargrave, you want him also coming after the quarterback. That, if you utilize him like that, and he is able to recapture what he did under Gannon, because that's the thing, right? That's what people are pointing to, is that the defensive coordinator that we're having come in was Hargrave's defensive coordinator when Hargrave was in Philly. That was the best football he'd played. Now, that's back in 2022. But that line had Hargrave, you had Fletcher Cox. That line was physically breaking people. Right. They broke people, as in, I can guard them and they're injuring people right out of the game. He's so strong. Like, his base, at least when he was back then, was so strong. But then he goes up to Minnesota and they're using him as a nose. And he's not a nose, not full time. You could use him like spot here and there for like particular plays, but if you're trying to do that for like an extended period of time, I don't think you're going to be successful.
Right.
So I think just me personally, I think if we're running a 4-3, which is what we did under Jeff Hafley, then your 2 interior defensive linemen, you got Devontae Wyatt when he comes back, and you got Javon Hargrave. That is just unrelenting pressure right up the middle.
Who's that backup then? Would that be Brenton Cox? Because I always got to think of the backup.
He's on the edge.
Edge. Okay, so who was Devontae Wyatt's backup?
Devontae Wyatt's backup would be guys like Carl Brooks.
Okay, but that wouldn't be LVN. Wouldn't be able to do that, right?
No, LVN's on the edge.
It'll be edge. I just can't count on Devontae Wyatt. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not trying to rain on the parade, but I done seen too much. I need to know who his backup is, because I think that's important. Damn near like who the Packers' backup quarterback is important, respectfully. Carry on, Dr. Smith. I just wanted to interject with that briefly.
Well, give me 2 seconds. I got to grab something real quick.
Okay, yeah. Okay, no, all good. So, picking on starting where Dr. Smith left off, I saw what you said in the chat, Pronte. I think LVN has to have a big season for us. LVN has to have a big season. We've been waiting and waiting. You was a first-round pick, I believe, LVN. Yeah.
Don't start who we passed on.
Right, yeah. It is what it is. It's time for him to step up now. LVN, the training wheels are off, done. It is time to get activated. You have no excuse. Nobody is ever going to double you. Get active. Get active. We need a big season from LVN. LVN need to have a coming out party. Go ahead, Dr. Smith.
I was about to say my job's calling. I'm gonna come back in.
All right, all good. All right, hope all is well. All right, Dr. Smith.
For sure.
All right. Appreciate you. I think LVN has to play big. He has to this year. But I'm dead serious. I don't know y'all in the chat, but I'm definitely concerned because I know Devontae Wyatt got talent, but man, he is often injured. I think we need to definitely have a backup for dude.
If we do,
and I'm also worried about Keisean Nixon still being our starting corner. Like Keisean Nixon being our number one corner is a definite problem in my book. And the main problem that I have with Keisean Nixon is that he constantly falls for the double move. He constantly falls for the double move. I think that's really the main issue that I have with Keisean Nixon. He overcommits. And he also overcommits, right? Talking to overcommitting.
Both. He's talking too much.
Right.
He think this greatest sliced bread.
Yeah. I agree. I do think we'll see. Some of the people in the chat are saying that the cornerback we picked up should be legit. The St-Juste. St-Juste, yeah, Benjamin St-Juste. Only 2 years, 10 million. So hey,
got size on him.
Yeah.
You know, that's wrong right now. You don't want these guys being slow. I mean, not slow, but you want these guys to be tall and
right. Right, and it's not costing us anything. It's not costing us anything at all. It's really not. But I think the main thing the Packers need to address, I think Dr. Smith was going to get into that, is that we need to shore up the trenches. The offensive line and the defensive line has to play well coming into 2026, going into 2027. That is the key. We were leaking like a faucet defensively, stopping the run, and we couldn't run on offense. If you can't do either one of those things, you will not get to a Super Bowl unless you can control the trenches. Period. Seattle won that Super Bowl because they controlled the trenches. They controlled the trenches. I'm not saying Sam Darnold is not a good quarterback, but he's not no world beater. But that defense is a world beater. You know what I'm saying? They made Drake May look crazy out there. They made the Patriots look crazy out there.
If you look, half of those lineman guys are gone. They got big deals from other teams.
Yeah.
Like they got
Kenneth Walker III. A lot of people left. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is you saw the formula, and the formula is defense wins championships. It's great to have a all-pro quarterback and all of that stuff, but if you don't have a defense, you're not going anywhere. And that's going to be the same. That was the problem with Aaron Rodgers and his tenure here. We never had a defense. Offense is ranked number one. Defense is in the bottom tier. That's not going to work. We have to get more speed. The same problem that's wrong with the Bucs is wrong with the Packers. We got a lot of low IQ on this team as well, defensively, as far as people not having awareness of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? That has to improve. I do think we helped a lot by getting rid of Quay Walker. I do think he was one of the lowest IQ people on the entire defense. I do think Keisean Nixon is up there as well. So I will always be scared with him being our starting cornerback. I think he limits us if we can make a Super Bowl with him as our starting cornerback. I think he limits you because I think he's straight doo-doo. I'm not going to even hold you. I think he's straight doo-doo. Kaka, whatever you want to say. Yeah, like he's all of that. At best, he's like a third or fourth cornerback. He's masquerading. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. It's like he Commissioner Gordon, but he masquerading as Batman. Like this is crazy. How you Commissioner Gordon and you masquerading as Batman? You can't jump that high. What is going on? He got all the bravado of a number one cornerback with none of the talent. Get him out of Green Bay sooner the better. We got to get rid of dude, and we got to get rid of dude. Like the cornerbacks really scare me. They really scare me in our line, our offensive and defensive. I understand we got picked up these new people. We'll see what they do, but Halfley, you gonna have to do something, bro. You gonna have to do something, sir. Like because there's no more excuses. Yeah. I'm sorry. What's the new dude?
Gannon.
Yeah, you gonna have to do something. Hey, you gonna have to do something. I'm glad Halfley gone, but again, I think a lot of his issues, we didn't have the right talent either. We didn't have the right talent. And I think by us getting rid of all these people, acquiring these draft picks, but I think we're going to revamp. And I think the Packers actually know what they need to do at this point. They're showing me everything they need. Like, they're at least paying attention by letting Quay Walker go, even though the media was saying how good Quay Walker is, all of this. They were able to see through the smoke and like, hey, no, this dude is actually just mid. Get him out of here, and got him up out of here. So like, I think the Packers know what they need to do now. I think they're reinvigorated, and I think pressure is on. Let me tap in, Dr. Smith. Hold on, Dr. Smith. Go ahead, Dr. Smith, on you, sir.
Sorry about that. Duty call, but I missed it. Where are we at?
Oh no, we were just talking about the defensive, offensive line, kind of where you were. No, go ahead. Yeah, where you left off.
So I feel like this, right? I don't want to get too hung up on like what we're gonna be, like as far as base formation, right? We were 4-3 under Jeff Hafley. All signs are pointing to Gannon turning us into a 3-4. For me, obviously there are differences between the two. What the emphasis is, like who you're using to apply pressure to the quarterback. But it's not as important because we're not going to be in our base formation for the majority of the time. Base formation, or the majority, the formation that we use the majority of the time under Jeff Hafley was like a nickel, where you dropped a lineman and you brought Javon Bullitt on as your slot corner, right? From what I'm hearing, Gannon likes to use dime, which is going to be even more defensive backs on the field, right? So you're going to do that, you'd have to drop a lineman and a linebacker. So you'd only have like the two linebackers. So our base formation was Quay Walker, Edgerrin Cooper, and McDuffie. McDuffie is the first one to drop off because he's not really good or great against the pass, right? That's when Javon Bullitt comes in. You want to bring on another defensive back, you probably have to drop a lineman. My point in all of this, right, is that getting Javon Hargrave definitely helps, right? Because to me, he plays very similar to Kenny Clark. He has a lot of the same strengths and weaknesses. Kenny Clark was a nose, but I think I liked Kenny. No, Kenny, I think, played better as a nose who could play three.
Okay.
Hargrave plays better as a three who could play nose. So they're not identical players. They're similar, right? But it's a similar problem, right? Real strong bases, like it's and they're quick for their size, right? So it's very difficult to get them off the line. But they're not. If you're gonna play that 3-4, you need a house right there as your nose tackle, like a big, just house, right? Think B.J. Raji back in the day, or Ryan back in the day. Johnny Jolly, you remember Johnny Jolly?
Yeah. What about my boy Gilbert?
Exactly, the Gravedigger. That's a nose tackle, right? If we still had T.J. Slayton, he would be a nose tackle. We just re-signed Jonathan Ford. Jonathan Ford has the size, but he could barely make the roster, right? So he would have to, as far as his skill, have to level up substantially to get there, right? A lot of people were looking at people like DJ Reader, who's still out there, right? And probably could be had at a lower price because he's getting a little lower. DJ Reader at his best, I would have been like screaming, get DJ Reader, but we wouldn't be able to afford him at this point. So you can get that in the draft. You don't have to like get everything, but I think the more items on your wish list you knock out now, the easier your draft is, so that if you miss out on a player that you can't get, you're not completely screwed, right? As far as cornerbacks, right? We people have talked about Benjamin St-Juste, right? What I like about him is that he's trending upwards. So if you listen to the Washington fans, right, they'll tell you this dude is trash, right? They used to call him Benjamin St. Burnt, like all that. He would just get smoked. I don't think they were using him properly. It's just the same thing as Franklin, right? He goes out to the Chargers. They play in a zone-heavy defense. Please stop me if I'm just...
No. Go ahead. No. They're agreeing with you in the chat.
Like I said, I get right into it.
No. Go ahead.
I get right into it, right? They play him in a zone-heavy defense over there. Last year, I don't know however much credit you give PFF, but he was the number 1 ranked cornerback in the league in zone defense. So there's a difference. When I'm not saying no one is saying he's the number 1 cornerback, period, in the league. He's not dude from up in Denver. He's not Christian Gonzalez in New England. He's not that. But he is, according to PFF, just outside of the top 10. He was ranked 11 overall and number 1 against the zone. Jonathan Gannon wants to run zone. That's why it's when you see players who struggle, right? The first thing shouldn't always be, oh, that dude is trash. He's washed. He's over the hill. How are they using him? Is there a better way to utilize him? Right? And what you saw from St-Juste, he did a good job at showing that, no, I can play in this league, right? And a lot of things could have been happening for him at the same time. Like the light bulb, I think, went off for him. And he went to a team that utilized him properly. To be fair, if you're being honest, he wasn't a full-time starter over there. So there's still a question mark. So he logged those numbers for the time that he was on the field, but he wasn't a full-time starter. I don't know that he's necessarily going to be a full-time starter here, right? But I know now I like him better than the cornerbacks we have on the team, period.
Yeah.
Like, better than all of them. All of them, period, point blank. Carrington Valentine, he got his shot. They gave him the mic. They spit your bars, Carrington. He was trash. You got to go back to the bench, Carrington, and that's it, right? Keisean, I'd be cool if they traded him.
That's who I was going in on while you was gone. Keisean Nixon got all the bravado of a number 1 cornerback with none of the skill.
I like that. All right, so you got to be a pit bull if you're out there, because a lot of time you're out there island.
He's talking too much.
I wouldn't even care with the talking, but it's for me it's strictly black and white. What do you do, right? And there's just too many times, like there are games, and I don't know truly if it's him or the play call or what. But you go back to that Dallas game. This is the game that we tied him. There'll be touchdowns scored on, I guess, who was supposed to be his man, and he wasn't even in the same zip code.
Yeah.
Like, how does that happen? And who do I blame? Because something went wrong. Something went terribly wrong, right?
Terribly wrong.
He'd have moments like when you're that badly beaten, when no one is around, like no one is around whatsoever. So he's too short for my liking. He doesn't have the arm span. You don't need those things to be a good corner. But the problem is that once somebody gets behind you, it's too difficult for you to get back into play if you just lack the tools. You lack the physical tools, right? You have to have like superhuman speed to get back out in front of the person to where you're going to have the advantage. When you have someone who's taller and who's got like that wingspan, even if you get a step on them, it's still that much harder to get over them. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to absolutely be a top shelf cornerback just because you have those skills. We all remember Kevin King. Kevin King was one of the tallest cornerbacks that we had in years, and he was terrible, right? But like no, size is not everything, but it helps.
Right, 100%.
It helps, right? You know what I mean? So and with St-Juste, you have that. If we would have got Reek Woolen from Seattle, we would have had that on the other side. You completely redo your cornerback room. I'd have been great. And then you still go and get a Chris Johnson in the draft.
Correct.
I'd have been over the moon.
Fact.
I still think that those are the type of people that you attack in the draft. I would like for them to go out and get someone like a Trayvon Diggs. Not necessarily to be a starter immediately, as in you just give him the spot. But he has the height. He has the wingspan. Let's go and see what he does in training camp. And if you earn the spot, you earn it. But I want my cornerbacks, I want us to go back to that. I need guys with length. I need guys with wingspan. If you get beat, this is a league. There are going to be times you get beat. I don't want us to want to think that the minute someone's got a step on you, which is going to happen in every single game, that you're just dead in the water. And that's how I feel if Keisean Nixon is out there. Somebody gets a step on him, he's dead in the water. So it's very much, as long as the play is in front of him, then he can play. So he's not terrible. Keisean Nixon is not terrible. It's just situational, right? In the beginning of the year, when we were not leaving the quarterback with more than 2 seconds to process and do it, Keisean Nixon was balling. But the minute it took just a little bit of time and we started to wear it down, then he's dead in the water because he can't come back into play. He's a silver bullet. He's a silver bullet. He's situational. He's only good if the situation lines up perfectly. So that to me does not mean that you're a good corner. You're situationally good. And what I want us to start moving towards is cornerbacks that can be counted on even if we start to wear down up front. You see what I'm saying? So like the more of that we have, the better. I want us to go back to some archetypes for corners, right? So you have this guy, Chris Johnson, in the draft that people are becoming hyper-focused on because, quite honestly, he looks a lot like St-Juste physically. He may not be like the fastest dude in the world. I think he runs like a 4.5 or something, which is not great, but it's not terrible. And you don't watch him thinking to yourself, all right, well, he's just going to get smoked. He can move. He can.
But there's a difference. I just want to interject here briefly. Like a lot of players have said that there's a difference between 40 speed, doing like the shuttles and all of that for the draft, and then it's game speed. Some people are not as fast at game speed. You know what I'm saying? Or faster with game speed. Yeah.
Quay Walker. That was the point we were making. Quay Walker, like I said, is faster than Edgerrin Cooper at his lightest. Didn't play fast, right? To me, the most important skill that I want to see, if we're just using like combine skills, are like your agility numbers, right? How quick you can flip, because that's where Keisean was terrible. He cannot flip. That game against Denver, and that dude put a double move on him. Keisean Nixon, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Like he turned the complete wrong way. Like he just, you know what I'm saying? So like these people, they see this on film. They see if you lack agility, what they're going to do. There's a double move that you can get him every single time.
The double move.
Every single
Bleacher,
time. A double move is going to kill you. Every single time. Because you can't flip. And you can't get back into play.
Right.
He's good as long as it's in front of him. You know what I mean? So it's almost like what we used to say about Quay Walker was he'd allow the reception and then he'd go and hit the person.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, which is to me a step too late. I want people who arrive with the ball, or we can come and intercept the ball. Right. Keisean Nixon is almost like that. Like it's almost like I have to allow the reception and then just gang rally and tackle, which is better than nothing. But to me, that kind of stuff leads to the bend but don't break defenses, because you're always going to have the reception, and it's just you could just chunk down the field doing that. 5 yards here, 5 yards there. No, I want people who are going to arrive and tip the ball away more than he did. That's why we were all singing his praises in that game against Washington when he had 5 PBUs, because he hadn't done that the entire year before.
Right.
Like he didn't have more than 5 in the entire year. That's not his game. You see what I'm saying? And so I think the more we have to move away from that. It's very similar to Milwaukee. We have to go back to having like perimeter defenders that have length and that can and lateral speed, because without it, you're just AJ Green out there. Keisean Nixon is going to be AJ Green out there. You just lack doesn't matter how much you want it, how much dog you got in it. All of that is cool. I'd rather you have that than not have it. But there does come a point when your lack of tools in the toolkit are going to lead to that Chicago game where they're just going to throw a bomb over you and you're just going to get burnt. And it's game over. It's game over. So I like the St-Juste pickup. I like that he's coming to this defense with this defensive coordinator. It's the same thing for Franklin. I think this particular defensive coordinator can put these guys in a position to succeed, which makes me feel like Gutekunst is picking up guys specific to the coordinator that he's just picked. And I don't know that that's always been the case. I think sometimes he would just go out and buy groceries and tell people to figure it out. I think now he's like, what do you run? You run zone. Let's go out and get a zone corner. Okay. Not just a corner, a zone corner. Maybe you wouldn't do well in a man-heavy defense, but we're not going to play man-heavy over here. You'll need to play it sometimes, obviously, to throw a curveball. The more predictable you are, the easier you are to beat. But if we play heavy zone, you know, and or too high or whatever the case may be, or if we're playing quarters, which is what I've heard them, then we need zone corners. that to me is going to allow Xavier McKinney to get back to where he was the previous season. So I'm like I said, we're getting right into like the hyper minutia. I told you I could nerd out a little bit easy in football, basketball. I get real into it, but I'm cautiously optimistic about these picks. I'm not hating any of the picks. The only thing that I don't like is that the worst unit on this team for me was the offensive line.
100%.
I agree.
And they did nothing to change that.
Yeah.
So that is what I'm like, all right, well.
I'm assuming that'll be addressed in the draft is what I'm thinking.
They signed back Ryan for a 3-year.
Ryan. I wish it was Runyon, because that was a Hall of Fame offensive lineman. But go ahead.
No, right. His father, right? I was about to say, we had the son. The son wasn't.
No, but the father, it was the truth, right? Yeah. All right, go ahead, Bleacher.
Yeah, that's what I'm really concerned about right now too, is offensive line, because I think last year, what happened was they got too cute when they signed Eric Banks that long-term deal, and he just did not play well. He was hurt, of course, but he didn't play well in the first. And then you had Jenkins, didn't really want to play because he wanted to be paid like a center. But then he went down, and then it was just you like we said earlier, they couldn't run the ball. When you can't run the ball, you can't do anything. And the most important thing is, if you're paying a guy $55 million of Jordan Love, you can't get an offensive line. You need an offensive line moving. I think we was off for a second. Me and Amber just said, look what Seattle did. They had the best offensive unit in the league with the offensive line and defensive line. They control the trenches. You need to control the trenches before you do anything. And I think what the Packers need to do, I think they're just too cheap with these offensive linemen. That's my problem with the Packers. I understand what they do with defensive line, but I just think that they really need to vamp up this offensive line a little bit more. Is Morgan going to be going to another level? If they're going to, they signed all these other guys that was tweeners in like Philadelphia and somewhere else, but I'm not convinced, or I'm not even satisfied yet with the offensive line, because if we can't run the ball next year, it's not gonna meet well. You like Jacobs was getting hit in the backfield last year. He was getting hit in the backfield. He gets the backfield.
But we had a makeshift offensive line though too, and he was nicked up last year too though. Jacobs was nursing.
Part of it.
Yeah, he was nursing some injuries. But even with that, our offensive line looked crazy. It looked crazy.
We were cheeks, and I don't think we're cheap. I don't think we're cheap. I think our talent evaluation, I think we were paying the wrong people. That's my problem, right? You brought in a dude. Don't get me started, because there's some moments last year where I almost turned the TV off, right then and there. That game against Cleveland, where they were essentially doing to our offensive line the same thing that Philly had done when we played Philly in the playoffs, where they were just breaking people, right? Where people were getting carted off the field. Real facts. They weren't being dirty. They were breaking people, right? We play Cleveland, it's the same thing. Run, Jordan, run. I'm like, what is happening? What is going on? You know what I'm saying? They got beat. And to me, it culminated with us playing Chicago in a playoff game. We're in the red zone. I think we were there's 3 yards to go before we could score the touchdown, and we can't get Josh Jacobs into the end zone. Josh Jacobs is not solely a power back, but he is a power back. That's one of the tools. That should be an automatic 7 points. Josh Jacobs. No thoughts about it. Don't even look at the playbook. Hand the ball to this Marshawn Lynch. Hand the ball to Marshawn Lynch, right? Hand the ball to Josh Jacobs. Give him the ball. If it's only 3 yards to go, don't even look at the playbook. Give the ball to run to Josh Jacobs. Run power to the left or the right. Celebrate your 7 points. Touchdown. And we couldn't get him in the end zone. And it's not like Chicago had this all-world super defensive line. They weren't Seattle. We weren't playing Seattle. Could you imagine what Seattle, the actual Super Bowl champs, would have did to that offensive line? They'd have made them, you know what I'm saying? And so you see that just like I do, Gutekunst. And you changed nothing. You said when you changed nothing that we have the players on this team that we need. Well, if that's the case, then the problem is the coach. We still have the same coach.
Right.
You didn't change the coach. You didn't change the players. That is Milwaukee saying we're going to go with Doc Rivers. We're just going to keep putting AJ Green out there and whatever. Like that's what I'm saying. Your highest paid player, most important player on the team is your quarterback.
Right.
Once upon a time, at least with Green Bay, because I'm trying to remember a time when we were like ever really super dominant when it comes to run blocking.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a minute. But at the very least, we were good pass protectors. We've always been that.
The last time, I can tell you the last time we were dominant run blocking, we had a man on this team at running back. Last name Green.
I'm on Green? Yeah. But look how far go. You know what I'm saying? When we had Armand Green, I was still in my 20s. Like, you know what I mean? It's been a minute.
Isn't that long? Yeah, it's been a minute. Hey, but he had 1,800 yards that year. Never forget, Armand Green was activated that year. We should have went to the Super Bowl. And again, the defense let us down.
What you also remember is that he had guys who would open up space for him, and we couldn't even did that. It's just like Daniel was saying. We're run blocking as if we're pass protecting. Pass protecting, you're giving ground, right? Because you're trying to create that force field around Jordan Love, right? For sure. Message received. I won't do it.
Go ahead.
I won't do it. I guess we just stopped talking basketball. Right? But we were run blocking as if we were pass protecting, like just automatically giving ground. If I'm Josh Jacobs, I'm like, look, let me off this team.
Right,
this is what it's going to be. Right? Because, like if you're not even going to give me a fighting chance, I'm not asking you to be run blocking for me like 15 yards down the field. You give me 5 yards, I'll handle the rest, but at least give me some runway to start with. And you goofballs can't even give me that. Cleveland had us looking like they were out there defending like dinosaurs and like come on, man. Like it's embarrassing. You get in a playoff game and you can't punch them in from the 3-yard line.
Yeah, not with a running back that size.
That's humiliating,
right? I agree.
We used to be able to get away with it when you had Aaron Jones, because Aaron Jones was a much smaller running back and he can get sideways.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have Josh Jacobs, my problem with the O-line is that they saw that and they tried to address that by getting bigger. Mm-hmm. So all across the line, if you look at our offensive lines like in yesteryear and years past, and you compare them physically, just their size, to the ones we have now are way bigger.
Right.
But they don't play like
that, right.
So you just big for nothing then.
Right.
What are you doing in the weight room? Move people back. That's embarrassing, bro. This is a game of physicality.
There is a difference between weight room strength and functional strength. There is a difference.
Yeah. And we, not last year from what I saw. So the hope is that part of the problem, and I do think this is a big problem that Green Bay had, is that they're doing this jack of all trades, master of none, where you're cross-training everybody to play all these different positions. Enough of that. You know what I mean? If Anthony Belton is going to be your right guard, then that's what you practice at in training camp. That's what you practice at in the preseason, so that when the season starts, you know what you're doing. Because it wasn't all, the problems weren't all weakness. A lot of these problems were that people didn't know where they were supposed to go and all the rest of it, right? When you signed Matt LaFleur, who had just had Derrick Henry prior to him coming to Green Bay, you were making the message that we want to incorporate the run more heavily than we've done in the past. Gone are the days where you have Aaron Rodgers and 5 receivers and 2 tight ends and me at running back, right? You know what I mean? Like that used to be Green Bay's MO. Every so often they'll sprinkle in an Eddie Lacy here, right? Or James Starks there. But for the most part, we're killing you with or John Kuhn. We'll leave that to the fullback. But for the most part, we were receivers. We're not trying to do that anymore when you sign Matt LaFleur. That's the message you sent. We want to be more controlling the clock, more bleed the clock, more punishing. However you may feel about that strategy, that's what you said when you go out and you get someone like Matt LaFleur. If that's the case, and you're going out and you're getting these big dudes, then these big dudes better actually be the part that they look like. Like I don't want you to just look like you a bouncer at the bar, but when things pop off, you getting thrown out the bar. Like, what use are you then at this point? We just paying you for nothing. We just paying you for nothing. They tearing up the bar. You supposed to be. What are you sitting there for? Like, you just you get out of here, man. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody should be running you out the building as if you are not the bouncer, and that's what the O-line looked like. We weren't running anyone out the building. Fact. We were getting run out the building, and that's humiliating. That's embarrassing. So, enough with this cross training. You know that these guys can play other positions. If that was the whole point.
Not the cross training. You just the cross training.
That's what they were doing. Anthony Belton was playing as a right guard. He didn't play. I don't know if you guys knew this. In training camp, he didn't practice as a right guard at all. That's like Doc
But that's the Packers' philosophy. They want their offensive linemen to be able to play multiple positions.
Yeah, and enough of that. Because what ends up happening is that you don't actually master anything that you're doing. And then when you go up and you play against a competent defensive line, then you have your job like halfway figured out.
That's a good point.
The only competent offensive lineman that we had last year for the majority of the year was Zach Tom.
Correct.
Sean Ryan started off as a right guard, was so terrible at it that they benched him. But when Elton Jenkins was terrible at center, then they said, all right, Sean Ryan, get back in there and play center. And that he was halfway decent at, and that's what got him his job.
Right.
Jordan Morgan was our first overall pick in the draft that he was drafted to play left tackle. He's playing every position but left tackle until the end of the season. What did you draft this man to do?
Right.
He can't beat Rasheed Walker. He can't beat Rasheed Walker out for the spot. Rasheed, 5 out of 10 Walker. Rasheed
Walker.
Room temperature oatmeal Walker. And he can't beat him for the spot. Rasheed, ham sandwich,
Classic
no mayonnaise,
Rant.
no tomato, no nothing, just 2 pieces of bread and ham Walker. Like that, and you couldn't beat him for the spot. Enough
that says enough. Yeah, that says a lot.
Right? If he's a left tackle, then he plays as a left tackle, because by the end of the year, when Jordan Morgan actually got reps at the position that he was drafted to play, he looked halfway decent. What that tells me is that he should have always been the position that you drafted him to play.
Facts.
If he was a left tackle, then leave him at left tackle.
Left tackle, right.
What's the matter with you, Doc Rivers? Like, because that's how it started to look like. Matt LaFleur was starting to look like Doc with all these decisions. What are you doing out there? Why is Anthony Belton playing that right? And that's my problem.
He got the random. He doing the randoms like Doc does with the rotations. He got these wild rotations for the offensive line.
Like, what are
they
you
are the same.
Exactly. We got Miles Turner and Giannis and Sims and Bobby Portis on the court at the same time. That's what the offensive line look like at times. And you going up against people that can kill your quarterback. We don't have what's his name? Like, we don't got Jalen Hurts back there. We don't have what's his name from Baltimore.
Agreed, Amtrax. Agreed.
Right? Like, like Rasheed Walker in a market that needs left tackles is still unsigned. That tells you everything you need to know. I don't want to make it personal about Rasheed Walker, right? Because good luck to him. He's somebody's child.
Right.
God bless him, right? But he's still waiting for a job.
What up, Mr.
That should tell you something. That brother's still waiting for a job. In his mind, he's got a price that I'm not coming down below the price. And the league was like, all right. Anyway, like, you know what I mean? Like, it start conversations. Like, you still standing here? Like, you said you want this price. We're not paying you that price. We saw you play last year. Period. If you're not missing a block, you committing a penalty. Rasheed Walker. Good for them. Him and Keisean Nixon. You can count on them like every other game. They alternate. Some goofball penalty that puts us behind. Enough of that. Enough of that, right?
Keisean Nixon is like our Jay Crowder, but go ahead.
Oh my God.
It's just the same thing. It's the same.
Oh my God.
Let's bring some positive spin before we get up out of here. I'm gonna start with Bleacher, then we gonna go to Dr. Smith. Who are 3 players you think will break out this year for the Green Bay Packers? Go on you, Bleacher.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say McKinney's gonna have a big year again. He did have a couple go. I'm gonna, if he can stay healthy this year, I'm gonna say Christian Watson gonna have a year if he stay healthy. And I'm trying to think like person that I really liking this Javon Hargrave signing because I've been seeing this man for years in Philadelphia. And I was mad when he went to the Vikings. I know how good he was, with the Vikings. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for him. Just excited how this defense unit going to operate. I'm really excited look how they're going to operate on defense because it seemed like they're doing anything they could to get this defense right because it was the problem last year.
Right.
And like I said, Dr. Smith, I was at that game against the Ravens. And I never seen fans move before like that. It was bad. They was getting ran over every play. Fans was like, you guys even trying? We're trying to get to the playoffs. They getting destroyed by a team that didn't even have backs on the field. It was bad. But that's what I'm looking forward to. I think that those are 3 players. And then real quick, I'm going to say Golden. I think Matt Golden will have a big year because they draft. I understand nobody thinking he's not, but they let Dobbs go for a reason, and I think Dobbs was a good for us. He was, but the thing was, Golden had the game that just showed us why we drafted him. When he had that big touchdown against the Chicago Bears, he had two jukes and 1 touchdown. I think that he's going to have a big year if they give him the ball. And the offensive line gotta get ramped up. I'm not happy with this offensive line right now. They need to really ramp up this offensive line more better. Make sure you can run the ball because if they can't run the ball, you can't pass the ball. So that's my thing. So you go ahead.
Oh, you Dr. Smith.
I was about to say you stole mine because of course Matthew Golden. He's the first person that jumps off the page, right? I think it was a fireable offense. At the end of the year, when they're doing the autopsy of the year, and they asked the offensive coordinator, why didn't you utilize Matthew Golden more? He didn't have any good answers. Right then and there, you're on performance review. That's your first overall pick. He's one of the best wide receivers you have. You don't have to necessarily incorporate him in the offense as your number 1 receiver, but certainly more than he was. And I think they recognize that. And Matthew Golden essentially playing the best out of all of the receivers, Christian Watson included, in that playoff game, I think made it easier for them to part ways with Romeo Doubs. Because I actually think that Romeo Doubs did have a place in this offense. He was one of Jordan Love's favorite receivers, but you can't pay everybody. I think that was the problem. If they had like just an open pocketbook, then he'd still be here. Right, but you do have the salary cap, and you got to start juggling, right? And so he becomes the easiest person to move on from because you have a Matthew Golden, and I cannot wait until you have Watson and Golden and Kraft and Reed and Jacobs on the field at the same time. That's a murderer's row that a lot of teams, if our line can actually do their job, right? So that's my number 1 player. I think, honestly, with Gannon coming over, and I was not displeased with Jeff Hafley, but I do think Jeff Hafley got a little lazy at the end. And that's not a shot at Jeff Hafley because I think he's better than Joe Barry. I overall have I'm happy with the job that he did overall. But I think Gannon, with the tools that we have, is going to show us something different, right, with what he does. And I think a breakout player, I'm saying breakout as if he hasn't already broken out, but I think even more. Is going to be Edgerrin Cooper. I think how he utilizes Edgerrin Cooper, I'm really excited about that because I think one of the notes that they made in the after actions review is that you became too dependent on Micah Parsons,
right,
on his brilliance, right? Micah Parsons should be an additive. He shouldn't be the sole answer.
Facts.
Because if he gets hurt, your defense can't collapse the way that it did, right? And I think if there's any silver lining that came out of that, is that you saw what happens when that happens, right? We don't know what Micah Parsons is going to look like when he comes back. We hope with modern medicine and with his work ethic that he's going to come back and be the same guy. But you need to make preparations, and I don't want to be like the gray cloud, that he may have lost a little bit. Can we still add? Can we still be dominant if Micah Parsons isn't that super electric Micah Parsons? That's his first ACL injury.
Right.
Right. And Javon Bullard.
Damn, that's what I didn't think he was going to use. That's what I was saying, because of how they going to utilize him. He could have a big year. Yeah.
I think he's on his way. Like again, this is a zone heavy. So what Gannon has said before is that he doesn't want to be predictable in that I'm just going to run the same defense all the time, regardless of what the other team is doing. Right? I think those are the best defensive coordinators. So I think he said it. He has to show it to me, mind you, right? But he said that the defense that he wants to run is taking his players into account. What do they do best? Let's formulate our strategy around that.
That should be common sense.
Right?
Common sense.
Right. Unless you are a super dominant team and it doesn't matter what the other team does. Like Seattle back in the day, didn't matter what you're going to do. We're going to play man corners. You're not going to beat it. You're not going to beat Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor in a second. You're not going to beat them, right? But for the average good defense, we're not talking about a historically good defense. The average good defense, I think you should be more read and react, right? But you have to have the players who can do that as well, who can process a lot of different things. So when the offense gets multiple, we can get multiple. If you can't do that, then you got to stick to what you do well and hope that it does. You know what I mean? Because now you become Milwaukee. You're trying too many different things. You're not good at any one thing.
Facts.
No, right? So he runs a lot of zone and he runs a lot of dime packages, that being said, which means that he's utilizing more defensive backs as like the strength of his team. He needs to be able to stop the run with the three guys that he has up front, but the strength of his team is going to be in the secondary. That's what he's played in the past, right? When we did look good, Green Bay's defense, is in the very beginning when that was actually happening with Jeff Hafley. And the middle of that field was, we were cooking with gas. That's when you had Edgerrin Cooper. That's when you had Evan Williams coming down. And that's when you had Javon Bullard, who is playing slot. But I think like that distinction, slot, star, box, safety, it's all the same thing, right? It was very similar. There's very slight variations between it, whatever. But it's just a defensive back who's going to come up and help a lot in the run game, right? So you have, like back in the day, the Tampa 2 defense where you had Derek Brooks, who was a linebacker, but he was really good against the pass. To me, he's the best linebacker I've ever seen against the pass, right? He's another safety.
I just got to interject briefly. The only person I'd like to bring up, I agree with you, but I would like to bring up Luke Kuechly from the Carolina Panthers. That's the only other name I'd like to bring up.
Like Luke Kuechly, I do very much. He's in the weight class. He doesn't have to sprint to keep up. I take Derek Brooks over him, but Luke Kuechly doesn't have to sprint to keep up with him. And Luke Kuechly was good against the pass. He's excellent. But what I mean, just even bringing him up, is that Derek Brooks was, more linebacker than safety, but in that Tampa 2 defense, he was really good against the pass. What I like about Javon Bullard and how they use good box safeties is he's more safety than linebacker, but he plays so well with those linebackers that it's almost like I'm completely good with McDuffie being off the field 90% of the game. And I like McDuffie because when he hits you, you stay hit. I like that. That's what I didn't like about Carrington Valentine. Carrington Valentine will tackle you and it's like having someone throw a pillow at you. Get out of here. Like, you know what I mean? McDuffie would hit you and he would plant you. He'd park you right there on the field. But Javon Bullard could do that at a faster pace and he would plant you too. He's not that big.
Right.
But he hits like it. He's like, I love him. And I think that his growth from year 1 to year 2 to me was only eclipsed by Kobe Wooden and his growth from the first year or the previous year to last year, right? Javon Bullitt on the field with Evan Williams and Xavier McKinney was my favorite thing. And Micah Parsons first, but then that and Edgerrin Cooper. Edgerrin Cooper, Evan Williams, Javon Bullitt, Xavier McKinney, right there in the middle of the field. Every now and then Quay Walker would get in the mix. Right? But that middle of the field, when they were cooking, they were cooking. And I think if you're smart, if you're Gannon, you know this. And so I think Evan Williams had his glow up last year. The league found out who Evan Williams was. To me, Evan Williams was like the second coming of Poyer. Justin Poyer played up in Buffalo.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Shout out to James. Appreciate the $5 super chat. Look at the three of y'all switching up uniforms like bosses up in this greeting call. So appreciate you, James.
Yes, sir.
Hey, James, you see Bleacher got a new hat. Hey, you see got the Packer gear on. We ready? Go ahead, Dr. Smith. Sorry, I had to get that one in there. Go ahead, Dr. Smith.
Yeah, but I just think that if the Javon is who we think that he's gonna be, right? I'm Hargrave. I'm talking about. And we can go back to adding pressure. And he's the upgrade. He's an upgrade essentially over Kobe Wooden, right? I don't know whether we're gonna run a 3-4 or 4-3. To me, doesn't matter, right? If he's a 3 technique, he's providing pressure from the interior, right? If he is that, I think I have a little bit more faith in Devontae than you do, but your point is proven. Like, he has to do that for the entirety of the season. But let's say there's less pressure on Devontae Wyatt now because you have even more help next to you. It's not just Micah Parsons. It's Micah Parsons on one side of you and Javon Hargrave on the other side of you, if he plays up to the level that we want him to, right? I'm not convinced that LVN wins that starting position. I think he is in right now.
Hot take, Dr. Smith. Hot take.
Wow.
Hot take. Hot take. I think most people think that's gifted to that's his to lose. Yeah.
That I agree with. But what I'm saying is that if the race were to start now, right, he's in first place, but the people behind him aren't like way down here.
That's fair.
He's in first place, and the ice under him is very thin because you got Baron Sewell, who is had a good showing in one of those games. And I'll be the only one to say it because no one else is saying it. Colin Oliver's superpower was speed. His thing just wasn't strength. But you've had an off, like the entire season last year, to bulk up just a little bit more for your NFL body. If you were able to keep that speed, you got Micah Parsons, who plays like you're watching the game on sped up. Like and you have Colin Oliver coming from that other side, and then you have that pressure up the middle, and you can't throw the ball more than 15 yards. And who was eating right there in the middle of the field? Javon Bullitt was eating these dudes. Like, if you caught the ball in front of him, he was parking you right where there. He found you. Just you not getting up from that. You know what I mean? And so I just think like those types of players, like the Edgerrin Coopers, the Javon Bullets, Evan Williams, who had his glow up last year, because otherwise I would say Evan Williams.
Right.
But like, as far as putting the league on notice, like, wow, we didn't know that this, like, who you're going to talk about more, Javon Bullitt. I think, honestly, I think a close second might be Zaire Franklin.
Agreed.
Just because of what we're going to ask him to do. The expectations are going to be low because people are going to be like, oh, man, that dude was trash last year. You Packer fans are delusional. Okay, maybe I am. You know?
Oh, I was told that. They actually was arguing with me over the Ravens. I'm like, did you know the man was hurt last year? Did you know he's the good system last year? Like,
well, we gonna see. We definitely gonna see. I'm excited though. Like I said, that we removed some people from this roster that I feel weren't pulling their weight.
Right.
I'm very optimistic. I like the new approach by management. It looks like they're getting people to fit a system, like you said, besides buying groceries and this Chef Cook they're allowing the chef to
Fact.
pick the what is that saying that what's my boy Big Tuna said? He was like they want me to cook the meal but won't let me buy the groceries.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Now you get in here and cook.
Right.
Then you get in here and cook. And then people will defend that strategy as if it makes sense. Like, say that out loud. Like, I'm going to pick these players, but you just do whatever. That's always been stupid. That's like people saying that the Packers strategy when they go to the draft is just to pick the best player available. Do you really believe that?
No.
What if the best player was a quarterback and you had Aaron Rodgers? Your first pick is going to be a quarterback?
Right.
You sound stupid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a think before. No, I don't think that Brian Gutekunst comes up there and the coach is just making demands and he'll just acquiesce all the time, right? Because I do think like there does come a point when like enough is enough. We're picking this player, and I think the last say is with Brian Gutekunst. But of course, he gets feedback from his players or his coaches. Of course, he does. Why wouldn't you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're in a good working system, it's supposed to be a team. We're all a part of the team. You know what I mean? And I think I need to hear Gannon. I need to hear Gannon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they're done making moves in the in this free agency period, because I still think that if they want to run a 3-4, then they need to go out and get another nose tackle. So I think maybe someone like DJ Reader, if you 3-4. Now I don't think that you wait until the draft. Yes, you can go to the draft, and I can tell you that there's some people that I would really like on this team. Maybe that's a conversation for another time, who you want to pick up in the draft, because I think Big Citrus needs to be in Green Bay. Big Citrus needs to be in Green Bay. Chris Johnson, I don't care who you pick after that. You pick up Big Citrus, you pick up Chris Johnson. To me, the draft is over after those two picks. We're done. We're going to the Super Bowl right then and there. That's how I feel about it. That's how strongly I feel about that. But I don't think you go to the draft still needing stuff. Take care of as much stuff as you can.
That I agree with.
I just need a house. I just need someone who's difficult to move. Right? If I could put Javon Hargrave on one side and Devontae Wyatt on the other side, I'm good. I just need someone who's difficult to move. Get someone in here who's 330 pounds, who's not 330 pounds of cotton candy like my offensive line last year. I need 330 pounds of football body weight.
Me.
Right? There you go. Right. Sign him up. Get this man his money. Pay for another house. Get over there, Daniel. We need a house. We need a house.
Right.
If you throwing people out the club, then I need you in the Green Bay uniform. Right? I don't need someone who I feel like I'm stronger than. Like, if you know what I mean? And that's what my O-line look like. I feel like, if I feel like I could outblock the O-line, then we're in a bad way.
Right.
Or just get run over like the defensive line was getting run over. That's why, like, we have like bodies like that on the team. We have Warren Brinson. We had Nazir Stackhouse. But they were on the field in that Baltimore game. Right. And you saw the way that Baltimore game looked. So thank you. You can't get on the field anymore. And anyone who is involved in that, we're done. We're done. Period. Point. Because that was as bad as I've ever seen it. Right. Against the run. How many touchdowns did Derrick Henry score that day? Like,
was it
4?
4, yeah.
By
and that wasn't even like
I was out of the stadium, man. That was bad, man.
And this wasn't even peak. That wasn't even Tennessee Titans Derrick Henry. That was like how old is Derrick Henry now?
30-something, 31, 32.
4 touchdowns, 1,000 yards in a single game. Like
that's enough. That's enough.
Oh my God! It felt like it though. It felt like he was going about to stop.
That's what it felt.
Football.
He just needed more time. The quarters just needed to be longer. That was it. He wasn't being touched. He was barely sweating. Well,
so I agree with Big Cole. They Hunter's going to be someone good, just right there in the middle. It's just hard to depend on a rookie to come in and be a part of that. But you know what? Lee Hunter is, like I said, all these dudes are young enough to be my children now at this point. Like the guys who are coming in, and that dude looks like a big grown man, like a monster. Been paying bills for years. Is on his second marriage. That's who Lee Hunter looks like. Like he looks like he looks like he's been around and he's seen some things. I would love to have him on the team. And yeah, Lee Hunter, Hargrave on one side, Devontae Wyatt on the other side,
Let's
with
get
Michael
busy.
Parsons. I'm telling you, let's work. Let's work.
Let's leave it on the positive. Let's leave it on the positive.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bleacher.
I want him to be afraid to hike the football by the time they come Green Bay. So
there we go. There we go. We're going to leave with some positivity. Appreciate you. Bleacher, appreciate you. Dr. Smith, we're going to try to get some more Packers lives in, but the Buck stuff been so crazy. But as the year goes on, we're going to really start picking up the Packers live. I appreciate the support. There was a lot of people in here for the Packers live, so really appreciate y'all tapping in. Appreciate you, Dr. Smith, making the time. Glad you feeling better as well. Salute for that.
Yeah. Appreciate you. Peace,
Bleacher.
family. Peace.
Hey, yeah, I hit you, Dr. Smith. I'm gonna add you to something later, but I'll hit you up.
Yeah, please.
Oh,
yeah, okay. All right, Dr. Smith. All right, appreciate you. All right, Bleacher. Bleacher got that hat. He like, y'all ain't gonna get me today. Bleacher said, y'all ain't gonna get me today on that hat gang. He's like, my hat gonna be fresh. That look rare. That look fresh out of lids. They still got lids? I don't even know. I ain't bought no fitted or none in a long time. What up, Brandon? Go ahead before we get up out of here.
What up, Pack Nation? Hey, you see I got my hat on.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm feeling a lot better now.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, I'm super excited about the Packers season.
Mm-hmm.
Because we got so much, we got a lot of depth we got this team now.
Mm-hmm.
I want this Packers team hit the ground running.
I agree.
We still got the draft coming up in a few more weeks. So, also, like, the good Packers belly friend. The look at Daniel, that Smith.
Appreciate you, Brandon.
No problem. Make the ticket thing rolling.
Right, and then we spinning the block tomorrow too. So see you tomorrow as well. You know we play the Heat tomorrow.
No problem. So I like the Packers signing. I like the Packers get where I'm not to see that way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think the Packers gonna do something. I don't know what it is, but I think the Packers have one more. It's just me. So we bet hope for the best. We think I have a breakout year this year. And Golden.
Uh-huh.
Who's fan there?
Uh-huh.
Well, I cannot remember his name.
It's all good, Brandon. It's all good. It's all good. Go ahead.
I think it's two people. Now we got one real job. And I'm gonna miss one real job. But he deserve it. So
Right.
this is the time he's gonna show out and play out. So as long as all can play because they're healthy, know their role, know what they're doing, stop reading, stop bombing, stop acting online.
Yeah, we just gotta come in focused. We just gotta come in focused. We got a new DC and we just gotta see what shake. So like I'm just excited we got rid of a lot of people. We trimmed a lot of fat. So I think that's gonna be addition by subtraction. And I think we're depending on how the draft goes, I'm really positive about where we're trending. So we're gonna see. But Brandon, appreciate you tapping in, bro.
No problem, bro. So what's the back nation? Take a breath. Take one man at a time. Take one day at a time. I got y'all tomorrow.
All right, Brandon.
this Buck team killing me, but I'm focused on the Packers.
All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Y'all.
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all tapping in. We spinning the block tomorrow to talk about these Bucks. But this was definitely positive vibes for the Packers. Appreciate it. There's definitely gonna be more Packers content coming as the year progresses. So really appreciate y'all tapping in, supporting the Bucks and Packers content. Thank you. Please hit the like button if you haven't already. It's gonna help Packers fans find the best community on YouTube, which is friends and family. All right, y'all. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the electrifying content. Salute to the channel members. Salute to the Discord members. Salute to the queens of the chat. Salute to all of friends and family. Go. This was fun as hell today.